Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, welcome to my channel. My name is Leah and I like to talk about mental health and chronic illness and LGBT issues, as well as various other things. And welcome to the first video in this Spoonie series. Before I start talking, I just wanted to say I'm really sorry for the terrible quality of this video. The lighting isn't great, the audio won't be great. I don't own any lighting equipment. I do own a Blue Yeti microphone, but something has gone terribly wrong with the stand. So please bear with me when it comes to the quality of my videos. But I'm really excited to film the first video in the Spoonie series, and I thought I'd kick it off by talking about the products that I swear by as a Spoonie. If you're not sure what a Spoonie is, it usually refers to somebody who has a chronic illness and experiences chronic fatigue and or chronic pain. I will put a link actually in the description down below where you can read up on the spoon theory to learn a little bit more about what people mean when they talk about using spoons and being a Spoonie. But for those of you who are Spoonies, I hope that maybe this might be interesting. Before I do get started, I'm going to say very quickly, because who likes intros really, what conditions I have, what makes me a Spoonie, and that will make some of these products make sense. I have ME, also known as myalgic encephalomyelitis, also known as chronic fatigue syndrome, CFS. I also have asthma and various kind of gastrointestinal issues, but a lot of these things are related to the symptoms caused by my ME. So without further ado, let's get into the video. The first thing that I swear by to make my life a lot easier is my pill box. There is nothing worse than feeling really tired or being really busy but having to scramble around taking individual pills out of their boxes to then take the medication. It's so much easier, in my personal opinion, for me personally, because I know some people don't like them, but it's easier for me to have a pill box. Some people call it a Dosset box. And this is the one that I am using at the moment, and I find it super helpful because it's got the actual days of the week on it. Sometimes I get really confused and I can't remember what I've taken and what I haven't, and is that yesterday's, is that today's, who knows. So these ones have the days of the week on them, but they're actually on the actual box rather than on the case that it comes in, so it's really helpful if you're traveling as well. So if I went somewhere for a long weekend, I would just take Friday, Saturday and Sunday's box with me, and it's got the day of the week on it, so I know exactly what it's for. So this is the most useful one that I've ever had, because I've used a few different ones, and I really like these ones, and it's rainbow. How cool! I find it really useful personally. These ones personally have morning, noon, evening, night and as required. I don't use all of those boxes, but it's good to have an as required box as well. Not all of them have that, or some of them just have backup, I suppose, if you drop one or something, I don't know. But this is the pill box that I have. I find it really helpful. It's a slide lid, which is quite easy to undo. It just makes it so much easier for me to organise my medication and to not get really confused when I'm overwhelmed by brain fog. It just really makes everything really simple for me, so I swear by this pill box. If you want to get one and you like the looks of this one, I will link it in the description below. I personally got it from Amazon. I really like this one. I think it's one of the nicest ones that I've seen. It really comes to something when you use that turn of phrase about a pill box. But never mind, we will move on to the next thing that I swear by. The next thing is the Nil Aqua body wash. This is really helpful for when you're really fatigued. It really helps with, you know, keeping up with personal care and things. There's a meme that goes around and it says you don't know what fatigue is until you have to rest after taking a shower, and that is so true. And on the days when my fatigue is at its worst, I can't even think about having a shower some days, or sometimes I make myself have a shower but then I feel like I need to pass out when I get out the shower. So this is really helpful for those days. It's a foam, and you put lots of it on your hand and, you know, use it like you would shower gel in the shower, but then it's towel off, so you just wipe it off with a towel, and it doesn't smell chemically, it doesn't smell hospital like, because I know some dry personal care products can they can kind of have that kind of hospital smell, or they can smell a little bit chemically, but this one doesn't smell like that at all. I also have a small bottle as well. That's really useful for when you're traveling, just to take, you know, a smaller one with you that's not going to take up so much space in your bag. I just think it's really useful for those days when you're too fatigued to have a shower, because it's really not fair that, you know, you should feel dirty or anything like that, just because your body isn't cooperating with you. If I was going to stay over at a friend's or something like that, which isn't really something I ever do, but if I was going to, I'd probably take that small one with me. It just really helps you to feel a little bit more fresh. They also do a towel off shampoo as well, which is really useful. For me personally, hair washing is the hardest part of showering when I'm really fatigued. Personally, I'm going to be really honest, I didn't really like the shampoo. I felt that it left my hair feeling not very nice, and I didn't personally feel that it cleaned my hair that well. That said, I have a lot of friends in the chronic illness community online who swear by it and they think it's great. So that's just, I don't personally use it because I wasn't that impressed with it and I don't feel like it does anything to my hair. But like I said, a lot of people really like it, so I suppose maybe it's different hair types, different opinions. But if you're ever in a position where you're bed bound or chair bound, you know, then that is going to come in really useful for you if you're not able to transfer to the shower to wash your hair. The next product that I swear by is my TENS machine. I'm thinking of maybe getting a little makeup bag for it so that it's not just in its ugly box. I'm gonna be really honest, sometimes I have pain that it doesn't really help, but for the most part I find it really useful. So as part of my ME, I get lots of aches and pains in my joints and muscles, and particularly I get a lot of my pain is in my hips. For whatever reason, it's my hips seem to bear the brunt of it mostly, and I find it really useful to have a TENS machine just to be able to stick it on to wherever it is that's hurting. Sometimes it's my lower back. The first time I used a TENS machine, I was a little bit iffy about them. I thought, this really hurts. How is this going to help me? This is really painful. But I got my own and I gave it time, and actually I find it really useful for the pain, particularly in my back as well. I find it really useful. There are some sorts of pain that TENS machines aren't suitable for though, so if you are thinking of getting one, please do just do a little bit of research and make sure that it's appropriate for the pain that you're experiencing. I know a lot of pregnant women use them as well, so if you're pregnant and you're struggling, maybe try a TENS machine. It's kind of a little bit like, if you've ever had an ECG, it's a little bit like that, where they stick the metal bits to the pads and then put those on your body. It's quite similar to that. Okay, the next thing, I don't actually have to hand to show you. I don't want to say it, but because of the situation in the world at the moment, we are a little bit low on supplies and I've run out of these. But what I'm talking about is the cool strips. I get lots of migraines and lots of headaches. You can get these cool strips and they feel so soothing. You stick them to your head, you look like an absolute idiot, but they are so soothing and comforting when you've got a really bad head. I'll stick a picture of them. They look like this. You may well have seen them before. If you haven't seen them before, and you get migraines or really bad headaches, I hugely recommend them. Now they are a little bit pricey. I think they're around £4 in the UK in most supermarkets, and there's only 4 in a pack, so they work out about £1 each. They are quite pricey, especially if you're getting kind of daily headaches. They're not going to last that long for what they cost, but they are so soothing. Like I say, you look a bit silly, so you probably wouldn't want to go out like it, but I hugely recommend those, and I absolutely swear by them to help me get through my migraines and my headaches. They're also really helpful if you have a fever as well. The children's ones, which are a little bit smaller and maybe less strong, I don't know, are targeted actually at children with temperatures rather than headaches, I think, or maybe both. So if you've got temperature, they really do cool you down as well. It just feels really, but it doesn't feel too cold. It doesn't give you brain freeze or anything like that. It's really soothing. So I'd hugely recommend those. In the absence of those, again, I don't have the actual thing to hand, and that's because my mum's actually using mine right now, but I do have a crappy Primark version to show you, but it's not as good. It's an eye mask that you freeze. You put it in the freezer so it's nice and cold and cool. And again, this is something I rely on for migraines and headaches. Even though they're supposed to be an eye mask, I put it on my head. Like some people put like a cool pack, like an ice pack on their head when they've got a terrible headache. So that's what I do with mine. It's got a strap around it. And okay, I'm not going to try and do it because something embarrassing is going to happen. But yeah, I put it on my head. The one that I actually would recommend, it's a brand called Thermopyl, and it's really good. This Primark one I don't feel is as good, but I got this one because I lost my Thermopyl one, and guess where it was? At the back of the freezer. But as you can see, if I just hold it up close, there's all these kind of little balls in there. The actual balls freeze so that you can still like shape it to your head or your eyes rather than just a straight ice that's just going to be rigid and not helpful. Hello, editing me would just like to add that Thermopyl eye masks can also be microwaved for eye conditions that require warmth. I don't believe that you can do that with the Primark version that I'm holding up in this video. So I find that really useful. Here is a picture again of what I'm actually recommending. But cheaper alternatives are also a go. The next thing that I swear by is actually related to my asthma, and that is an adult spacer that's actually got a mask on it. And I find that so useful when I'm having a really bad asthma attack. Nobody knows what is going on with my asthma. The term brittle asthma has been thrown around but never actually diagnosed. So I don't know what to tell you what kind of asthma I have. But sometimes I get really bad attacks, and with a normal spacer, which has a mouthpiece like this, it can be a little bit difficult to kind of focus on my breath. When I'm really bad, the last thing I want to be doing is thinking about how to breathe through a spacer. Doing this and trying to breathe in and out in good time and things like that is really difficult, because when my attacks are that bad, I cannot breathe properly to be able to take in the salbutamol or Forster. But with this one, all I've got to do is place it over my mouth and breathe as best I can, and then any breath that I am breathing in, I'm breathing in the medication. And I often do find that it is really helpful when I'm really bad to just place this over my mouth. Can you hear me? Who knows? And place it over my mouth and just try and breathe, and then I don't know, I just personally, I feel like I get a lot more into my lungs when I'm in a very bad attack using one of these than using a normal one. But everybody's different. My mum said that she would really panic if she had something over her mouth like that, and she would prefer that. The next thing that I swear by, and again we're going back to kind of fatigue symptoms and pain, is my shower stall. I will admit I don't have to use this so much now, and I'm really thankful for that. And you know, I'm not boasting, I'm just, you know, kind of giving a disclaimer because I'd feel a bit bad maybe implying that I have to use something all the time when I don't. But I bought it when I was about 18. I was really struggling with my fatigue, and I wasn't getting any support from any kind of medical professional, and I just dreaded having a shower. I felt sick at the thought of washing my hair because I couldn't bear it. It made me so tired. It made me not just a bit tired, I mean exhausted, fatigued, made me feel like I needed to collapse. I would feel sick and I would shake. I would always have to get out the shower and lie down, and it would write me off for the rest of the day. I couldn't ever wash my hair in the mornings. I mean, I'm still like that, to be fair. I'd never wash my hair in the morning, always at night, otherwise the day will be a write-off. And I've never really been able to wash my hair like over the sink, or over the bath, I mean, because that really hurts my back and puts pressure on my joints. So I found that a shower stall for me was a lifesaver. I felt really embarrassed buying it. I felt really embarrassed admitting that I was using one at the age of 18, but at the end of the day it helped me to be able to wash my hair. I spent a lot of time with really greasy hair because I was putting showers off, but the shower stall made everything a lot easier. The next thing that I swear by is this lavender eye bag, and it's more of kind of like a relaxation thing. I can get really tense sometimes, and especially when I'm struggling with my symptoms, I get angry with myself, or I get worried that I'm going into a flare, or I just feel, you know, when you just feel unwell, it's hard to relax. But these are something that we used in yoga, and so I got my own, and you can actually microwave this one and it smells lovely. So when I'm just feeling really unwell and I just want to unwind, I put on some lovely relaxing music, and I'll lie in bed with this over my eyes, looking like a pleb but feeling relaxed as heck. So that's kind of more of a mindfulness thing, but that really does come into kind of physical health in my opinion. So that is really something that I swear by. The next one, gonna sound a little bit weird. It's my trainers. If you're American, it's my sneakers. I don't have them to hand because I'm just a bit funny. I don't want to bring shoes upstairs. I'm a bit funny about germs. I swear to God, having a proper pair of shoes really helps my pain. And when I was walking around in Converse and really flat shoes, it was really bad for the pain that I get in my hips. And having a proper pair of trainers, mine are Skechers, not only are they really comfortable, they really help my pain. And I don't think it's just that they're comfortable, I think it's that you walk properly in them and you balance out the weight properly in them. I would just really recommend having proper footwear. I know it might make me sound like a granny, but honestly, if you suffer with chronic pain, wearing a good pair of shoes will really help. I'm not saying it will stop you from being in pain and suddenly you'll be able to walk 5k, but if I'm going to have to be on my feet for a while, it really does help me. I do also have a walking stick which helps me as well with if I'm going to be on my feet all day. Again, not something I use so often anymore, but at one point I was having to use it if I was ever going to be on my feet all day. But yeah, having a proper pair of trainers and a walking stick really helped. Cannot recommend proper footwear enough. Granny moment over. The final thing that I swear by as a spoonie, which I don't have to hand, again because supplies are low in these trying times, is a gingerbread man. As bizarre as that sounds, I get a lot of nausea and ginger really helps to settle your tummy. Gingerbread people, I don't want to offend anybody, really help to settle my stomach, and the gluten-free versions are fine. So I rely on those when I'm feeling really sick due to ME or IBS or migraine sickness. I'm sure that one sounded a bit weird, but what would I do without gingerbread? So those are all the things that make my life a little bit easier as somebody with a chronic illness. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and maybe you found it useful. Maybe you might want to go and try out some of the things that I spoke about. I would really love to hear yours, so don't hesitate to leave me a comment down below letting me know what's in your Spoonie survival kit, and I would really love to see you in my next video. So don't forget to click that subscribe button for more content just like this. Thank you so much for watching.